Tonight, a man critically injured after a shooting just hours ago in Overbrook.
It's kind of scary, especially happening so close to home.
Paramedics responded to Prince Albert just after 1 p.m. and transported one man to hospital, describing his injuries as life-threatening. Prioritizing safety at the Rideau LRT station.
You have to keep your eyes out for everything, and it's just not the experience you want to have when you're trying to just commute to your daily life.
OC Transpo promising heightened visibility of special constables and changes to the closed-circuit camera system. And a chance to cool off in a whole new way this summer.
People want outdoor space and places to go to.
A swim with a view as the NCC brands the capital as your very own cottage and opens up 2 more docks in scenic spots to improve waterfront access. Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on the investigation into a brazen daylight shooting in the Overbrook neighbourhood. One man is in hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police say they have one suspect in custody. This happened early this afternoon on Prince Albert Street, 1 block away from Presland Road. CTV's Austin Lee is at the scene and joins us with the very latest. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, gunfire rang out here right behind me at around 1:10 this afternoon, and people in the area say they're thankful that no children were caught in the crossfire because there are a lot of kids that live here on this street. As you can see, police are still on the scene, and a section of this block remains cordoned off. Now, one person is in custody, and several people here telling me that they heard a single gunshot. And one man was found with critical injuries, according to paramedics. First responders worked to stabilize him at the scene before he was then taken to hospital. And some of the debris from those life-saving efforts remains on the scene here still. Again, all of this happening in broad daylight, leaving witnesses stunned.
It's kind of scary, especially happening so close to home. We heard a pop, and we came out to see what was happening, and there's a gentleman just laying on the floor, and unfortunately, yeah. Police responded pretty quickly, and it's just kind of scary.
Just shocked, to be honest. Just pulled up for to do a job, and don't see this every day.
Now, police are asking people to avoid the area as this investigation unfolds. Again, one man is in critical condition, but we still don't know the age of the victim, and we don't know anything about the suspect at this time either. Police say the Guns and Gangs unit is now leading this investigation. They also say that there is no risk to public safety. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live from Overbrook for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a transit hub in the heart of the city at the center of frequent safety concerns is set to get a makeover. OC Transpo planning a series of improvements for the Rideau LRT station, including a new special constable office. CTV's Katelyn Wilson joins us live now with the details on this. Katelyn.
Yeah, Patricia, Rideau Station is one of the busiest transit hubs in the city, and while OC Transpo says planned upgrades will improve the station experience, many riders say they're hoping it also helps address the safety concerns they see on a regular basis. For thousands of transit users, Rideau Station is part of their daily commute. But for some, like Haley Gloss, safety is an ongoing concern.
It doesn't feel very safe at all, especially being a young woman. It's very much you have to keep your eyes out for everything. And it's just not the experience you want to have when you're trying to just commute to your daily life.
She says homelessness, drug use, and overdoses have become more frequent. And she's not the only rider with concerns.
The cleanliness, sometimes you walk down there and there's spit all over the floor, which is not that enjoyable. I tend to avoid because it's very, the layout isn't the greatest, and it tends to be difficult to navigate.
Now, OC Transpo is planning a makeover of the downtown transit hub, including new signage, changes to security cameras, and a dedicated office for OC Transpo special constables.
It's about having more visibility and more presence so that people are seeing staff more regularly. They have someone to go to directly on site if there's an issue.
The new office comes as OC Transpo expands its visible security presence across the system. In recent weeks, the transit agency launched a community visibility team made up of 5 special constables and a sergeant patrolling by foot, bike, and transit. And after washrooms were closed for several weeks because of vandalism and safety concerns, the city is looking at installing blue lights, which would make it more difficult for drug users to find veins.
Since about 2020, the security concerns are getting more and more severe. And we want, people to take public transit. We want ridership to increase. So we have to put things in place
to make sure that people feel safe using our public transit.
For riders like Gloss, those changes can't come soon enough.
Even just like slowly increasing like a presence of security, it gives people a peace of mind too.
CTV News reached out to OC Transpo for an interview, but was told it's too early to comment. The transit agency says the Rideau Station refresh will take place over the coming weeks. Councillors are expected to learn more details at next week's Transit Committee meeting. Patricia?
CTV's Katelyn Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. And we do have extended coverage of the changes to the Rideau LRT station. There are many more transit stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Still ahead, she has been a patient at CHEO since just days after she was born and lives with chronic pain. CHEO's physiotherapy and OT programs have been game changers. Ziana's story coming up. Well, this stretch of summer-like weather is probably making you want to take a dip in a pool. Or what about maybe the Ottawa River? Well, that will soon be possible. The National Capital Commission is set to open 2 new public swimming docks. One will be in Gatineau along the shore near the Canadian Museum of History. The other right across the river on the Ottawa side at the East Wharf, just steps from the base of the downtown Rideau Canal lock. CTV's Tyler Fleming has been out today checking out the new locations from shore. Tyler.
From shore, but you know what? It was a scorcher today, and I definitely would have made the plunge. However, the docks are not quite in yet. Now, when they are ready to go, the 2 additions are set to build on what's become some super popular places along the waterways of the National Capital Region.
Along the shores of the Ottawa River at the Museum of History in Gatineau, there is a park.
I like it's quiet. A nice view.
Overlooking Parliament. For Andre Ciliano, it's a little slice of cottage life in the heart of the nation's capital. Now, by Canada Day, a big floating dock will be installed, complete with chairs and a marked-off swimming zone for anyone looking to relax, catch some rays, or...
When I walk or bike, I can have a dip.
The National Capital Commission is expanding swimming access around the region, and this will be the location of one of the 2 new docks. The other right across the river at the East Wharf, just steps from the Rideau Canal locks in downtown Ottawa.
Yeah, I live in the market.
Colin Churcher enjoys his strolls along here and is excited for the new swim hole and rest area. This one set to open mid-June.
It's easily accessible by both bike and walking. As I say, I'm getting on there. I'm in my 80s now, but I can still get down here, and it's fun.
The new docks build on 2 other popular spots, the NCC River House and Dow's Lake.
Last summer when Dow's Lake opened, I was one of the first to jump in and give it a try. No dock here, but I will dip my toes. Yeah, that's nice. It's refreshing.
Swimming at all locations will be unsupervised, but life jacket rentals will be available at some docks.
It's important to recognize that not everybody has a backyard or a balcony, and people want outdoor space and places to go to. So we're creating that opportunity.
The NCC says the waterfront getaways are giving people a new way to connect with nature and the region's waterways. And for Lauren Newell, the idea has already made a splash.
I don't have a car, so it's really hard to get out to Gatineau Park, so this is the next best thing.
Now, the East Wharf will also include a dedicated swimming lap lane, along with a dockside food and beverage service. The NCC says its waterfront hotspots drew more than 1 million visits last summer. Perhaps some proof that many are looking for that cottage country vibe without leaving the city. Patricia.
Is it the dock you're waiting for or the beverage service?
Everything.
Little
the beverage will give me the bravery to jump off the dock.
Up to the ankles anyway, not back.
That's right.
All right. Tyler, thank you for this. CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us today as we take a look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Can you see a little of that area there? Not too far away, perhaps. It is a beautiful, warm evening out. It is 28 degrees. Jackie cannot see this from where she is. She's all the way out in Canada tonight at Brook Street, where there's a big event happening this evening. Jackie.
That's right, Patricia. It is the Taste for Hope, and this is for Shepherds of Good Hope. And what we are looking at right now is doors about to open. We're enjoying being outside, however. It is such a wonderful day. We can see temperatures about 28 degrees here in the capital, about 25 along the Seaway. That includes Kingston, Brockville, and Cornwall. The mix of sun and cloud, but sunshine really dominating most of eastern Ontario. We will have a stretch of fairly warm temperatures, but the sunshine could be a different story by the end of the week. 15 for our overnight and a few clouds in the sky. Tomorrow, daytime high 31 degrees is anticipated, so the heat will stick around for at least another day. We've mentioned that sunshine could be moving or changing by the end of the week. We'll have those details for you and much more in just a bit. Patricia.
Well, a warning tonight from Ottawa Police about a high-risk offender with a history of violent stranger sexual assaults now living in Ottawa. 46-year-old Christopher Rolston is serving an indeterminate life sentence for 3 counts of sexual assault with a weapon and uttering threats. The incidents occurred in Toronto in 2002. He's serving the remainder of his sentence on day parole here in this city. Police say he poses a significant risk to public safety, particularly to women. He is living in a community-based facility under structured supervision. A former pastor here in Ottawa is facing charges in connection with an historic sexual assault investigation involving minors. 64-year-old James Andrew Evans was arrested this week and charged with multiple offenses, including 2 counts of sexual assault with a weapon, 3 counts of sexual assault, and 3 counts of sexual exploitation. Evans, also known as Pastor James or Dr. James Evans, served as pastor at the Chinese Christian Church of Ottawa from 2001 to 2005. Prior to that, he served as a pastor in Toronto. Police did not say when the alleged offenses happened, but investigators are concerned there may be more victims. Anyone with information is asked to contact Ottawa Police. Police are investigating after a man with stab wounds boarded a bus in Lowertown this morning. Emergency crews were called to Rideau Street near Friel Street just before 11 o'clock today. Paramedics say the man was suffering from serious but non-life-threatening injuries. He was brought to hospital. There's no word on any suspects or arrests at this time. The Trump administration is taking a new approach to global tariffs after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down previous ones earlier this year. The focus now is on curbing imports made with forced labor, and a new 10% levy could be imposed on Canada and other countries. CTV's Abigail Beeman has the latest.
Hello. Just hours after the U.S.-Canada trade minister said he had a positive meeting with Jamieson Greer, Greer's office said Canada is among the countries that could be hit with a new 10% tariff for failing to take action on forced labor. The failure of our most important trading partners to address the importation of goods made with forced labor is unacceptable. This creates a dynamic where American workers are forced to compete globally on an unlevel playing field, Greer said.
This is not a surprise.
The Prime Minister pointed out the vast majority of goods fall under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico free trade deal and won't be impacted. He says Canada supports the overall objective.
We made some changes earlier this year on things that candidly were not as effective, so there's ways we can change things legislatively. We'll be proposing that to the House in the coming weeks.
LeBlanc wouldn't answer whether he and Greer discussed Canada's move to allow some Chinese EVs into the market.
We don't discuss publicly the content of private conversations or private discussions.
U.S.-Canada expert Christopher Sands says the U.S. is intentionally moving some trade irritants outside CUSMA.
The good news is that might mean the USMCA could move as far as renewal, or that the negotiations could be more constructive going forward. The bad news is this is designed to keep the U.S. with leverage, even if we renew USMCA, because we have the other issues that we could use to impose tariffs on Canada.
Now, these tariffs aren't in place just yet. Experts say important to point out there is a process. The USTR will hold hearings about them July 7th. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
A local baseball team says they're stepping up to the plate to cover the cost of a basic necessity. The team has been paying for an accessible porta potty, one they believe the city should be paying for, not them. CTV's Kimberly Fowler is in studio with the details on this. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, Paul Villeneuve of the Ottawa Patriots baseball team says the Blackburn Hamlet Park where they play is busy throughout the season, but the only washroom there is a porta potty that they pay for. Tovett Park has 3 baseball diamonds and 2 soccer pitches. The baseball team has been paying for a porta potty for the better part of a decade. Now, Villeneuve says last year the city covered the cost, but has opted to not pay for it this year because of low usage. That leaves the team footing the bill of about $350 a month for their season.
And our parents basically pay fees for the kids to play. So theoretically, you have the taxpayers paying for the porta potty that I think the city should provide.
Last year, the City Council passed a motion securing citywide funding to extend hours at existing bathrooms in parks and rec facilities, or to install porta potties. But Area Councillor Laura Duda says there isn't enough money to install one at every park. She says city data and local partnerships help determine the best places for them to go so they will serve the most people.
The city is slowly making progress in terms of rolling out these portable facilities. And as councillors, what we do is we look at the limited money that we have available to us, and we try to get the most, user groups involved in partnering with us to get the most bang for our buck.
Each ward gets $4,500 in funding, which is enough to cover the operating costs of around 3 porta potties a year. Dudas also says while the city would love to have a publicly funded washroom at every park across the city, there's no plan for that right now. But if the baseball team is willing to partner with the city to help pay, that could expedite getting one at their local diamond. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, councillors are directing city staff to table a draft rent-evictions bylaw, despite staff saying Ottawa does not need one. Currently, evictions related to renovations or repairs are regulated under the province's Residential Tenancies Act, which was recently amended to enhance protections for tenants. Still, councillors believe a municipal bylaw could fill gaps left in the provincial law, and today voted to direct staff to table a draft bylaw which would require landlords to secure a building permit for renovations before an eviction notice is issued to tenants.
Numerous jurisdictions, including Hamilton, Toronto, London, have developed bylaws that are complementary with provincial law that basically say we want you to take this step first to ensure that you actually need vacant possession. If you're going to kick someone out of their home, you really need a good justification. You just need to show your permit, which frankly, if you're doing significant renovations, you'd have to do anyway.
The draft bylaw is set to be tabled July 8th, when councillors will decide if there is too much overlap with the Residential Tenancies Act. A candidate running for mayor says he has a plan to bring fiscal transparency back to City Hall.
As mayor, I will bring forward a new era of responsible city spending.
Neil Saravanamuttu is the first candidate to release his fiscal policy. He says the city needs to think carefully about every dollar it spends so it can afford important services and infrastructure in the future. He says he would avoid taking on expensive projects that could create bigger financial problems later.
Opening the books, challenging every expense, ending the sweetheart deals, reducing our reliance on high-cost growth, and fighting for a better deal for all cities. That's my 5-point fiscal plan to create a new era of responsible city spending.
Saravanamuttu would not say what he would set the tax rate at, adding we need to understand the true state of the city's finances. Other candidates include incumbent Mark Sutcliffe, City Councillor Jeff Leeper, and home builder Alex Lawson. 11 people are facing charges after an undercover operation targeting demand for underage sex work in Ottawa. Officers posing as underage individuals were engaging with people online, attempting to arrange sexual services. A total of 26 charges were laid. The suspects' names were not released. Ottawa police are asking for the public's help identifying a man who allegedly stole a delivery truck earlier this year. The vehicle was parked in front of a home on Homestead Street in the Fisher-Glen neighborhood just after 11 a.m. on February 19th. Police say the suspect stole the truck and then used the driver's credit and debit cards to make unauthorized purchases. He was wearing a black hoodie, dark pants, and black and white sneakers. Well, gas prices are once again spiking here in Ottawa and across the country as the conflict in the Middle East continues. Prices here in Ottawa were up around 8 cents today, bringing the price at some stations to around $1.74.9 a litre for regular gas. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague says price fluctuations are expected to continue throughout the summer, with the Strait of Hormuz still blocked.
Not only have we seen a lot of vessels not be able to get through that choke point around the world, we are draining strategic reserves, emergency reserves to levels that we haven't seen in a long time. It's going to take a long time for that to be replenished under law.
Prices could increase another 2 to 3 cents a litre here in Ottawa on Thursday.
I didn't even know what was going on. I just knew that they were having difficulty getting her out. And when they finally did get her out, she had no vital signs at all.
Still to come, a 6-year-old who loves to write and create and has been defying the odds since she was born. Sienna's inspiring story is next as our countdown to the CHEO Tellathon continues. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. The doors have already now opened for Taste for Hope. This is one of 20 food stations that guests will enjoy, including from Coconut Laguna. Jeff Joe Thautungal, what do we have here?
We have a nice, beautiful seared shrimp with the eggplant chutney and lemon pickle, and topped with a beautiful tuile and a black mustard sprout.
Wow. So again, this is one of 20 food stations here, and this place coming together. We'll hear more from the organization in just a bit. But for now, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A warm, wonderful evening in downtown Ottawa, 28 degrees, overlooking Kaweki Point.
Taking a look at the roads on your Wednesday drive home, we're seeing traffic moving pretty well in the outlying areas of the city. Some slowdowns in the usual spots in the western portion of the Queensway tonight, but for the most part, things moving fairly well. Well, just a few days to the CHEO Telethon on CTV. All this week, we're telling you stories of the children at CHEO. Sometimes these kids are so creative, they write their own stories. CTV's Kimberly Fowler introduces us to Ziana.
Hope is everywhere. In skies where clouds float lazily while birds sing, where snow falls and shines even in the dark.
Ziana loves to read. This 6-year-old has hundreds of books and is also a writer herself.
The flames bounce and make a shadow on the wall in a dark room.
And with Mom Rocky by her side, this duo is unstoppable.
Go Team Ruparelia! Woo!
Ziana has been coming to CHEO since days after she was born.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
In the blink of an eye, after what was a normal pregnancy changed the moment Ziana arrived.
I didn't even know what was going on. I just knew that they were having difficulty getting her out. And when they finally did get her out, she had no vital signs at all.
Ziana was delivered by emergency C-section, lifeless, and rushed to the NICU at the Ottawa Hospital. It was unclear if she would survive.
So Ziana as a name means bold, and it suits her to a T. She was all connected to wires, and she had a CPAP machine to help her breathe. But in true Ziana fashion, she'd already decided that wasn't for her and that she was going to breathe on her own.
A few days later, she was transferred to CHEO.
There was a team waiting for us, and they were so welcoming, and I just felt the sense of calm. I felt like she was in really good hands. And from then on, I just knew that she was going to be well taken care of.
At just 6 months old, Ziana had weakness and muscle tightness on her left side and started physiotherapy and occupational therapy at CHEO. Then at 3 years old, another challenge. Ziana started feeling intense pain in her back, something she still deals with every day.
Before I got medications to help with my pain, I was literally lying on the floor in class. Just lie on the floor in the hallway to try to get relief. Everything would be fine if I didn't have chronic pain.
This is the one where we met, remember?
Yeah.
The team, in combination with medication, is also giving Ziana the tools to help her get through pain flares.
I'm feeling a little better.
We have a neurodevelopmental approach.
My legs feel kind of hyper.
Physical, so physiotherapy, psychology, and the emotional piece of having chronic pain.
Specialized care provided by teams of experts at CHEO.
And you put your legs right there.
I think that every family hopes they won't need the services of a place like CHEO, and you don't plan to need them. And when you do, you hope that there is a place like CHEO available.
Up over our heads.
And the hospital is growing in a new integrated treatment center, coordinating medical teams to provide life-changing care and help kids live their best lives.
We want to offer cutting-edge treatment, cutting-edge technology, and we can't do that without support.
Good job.
Thanks to your donations,
Service with a smile.
Kids like Ziana are constantly defying odds and exceeding expectations.
That's really what Ziana's done. She hasn't just survived here, she has thrived.
With the care from CHEO, Ziana has built the foundation today for endless possibilities tomorrow.
I am Ziana.
And beyond.
She's come a long way, and I expect that our future is extraordinarily bright. One of my favorite memories is reading her poem. It's called Hope. Hope is everywhere. I can read her poem when things aren't going so well.
In books about heroes who overcome impossible obstacles.
And it does. It gives me hope.
There is hope everywhere you can dream.
I really don't think she has any limits. I think this girl can do anything she wants.
And now people try to make a change in the world.
She doesn't see herself as having limits, and why would I?
Hope is everywhere, even in us.
Ziana's story and many others will be shared on CTV this weekend on the CHEO Tellathon. It's Saturday between 4 and 7 p.m. We'd love to have you join us, watch and donate to help improve the lives of children and youth. Well, it is not officially summer yet, not for about 2.5 weeks, but that summer-like weather has certainly arrived in the capital in a big way. The sun's shining over the Rideau River today. Lots of people out taking advantage of the near 30-degree temperatures at Strathcona Park. And if you did not get a chance to get outside today, the good news is this weather is sticking around for at least another day. Jackie out at the Brook Street for us tonight with all the details of what to expect over the next 7 days or so. Jackie.
That's right, Patricia. We are guaranteed at least one more day filled in sunshine, and we may even surpass the 30-degree mark tomorrow. Now, right now, across Eastern Ontario, well, we are just shy of a couple of degrees of 30. You can see Pembroke has already hit 30 degrees right now. About Bancroft, 28 degrees. There's mainly sunny skies, but a little bit of some cloud cover. A little cooler along the seaway, about 24, 25 degrees. But you can see that most of Eastern Ontario is sitting in the high 20s for this evening. Now, overnight, cooling down slightly, still double digits, 15 degrees with a few clouds in the skies. And yes, the warm-up will continue for yet another day. 31, the anticipated daytime high. Mix of sun and cloud expected to continue as well. For the next 2 days or so, not much in terms of precipitation, but it could be a different story by the time Friday rolls around. More on that in just a bit. Right now, though, what can we expect for tomorrow? Here in the capital, we can see about 15, 25 degrees. And as we look towards temperatures right now, today's daytime high was anticipated 29 degrees. We did see this, though, moving in. The night lows across Eastern Ontario, about 11 to 12 degrees, slightly cooler in Bancroft as well. Meanwhile, tomorrow's daytime highs really throughout Eastern Ontario hovering around the 30-degree mark. Across Canada, you can see that warm-up is moving its way towards Atlantic Canada. Still cool, though, in Fredericton at 18 degrees, but tomorrow and into the weekend is expected to be a different story. But Ontario, Quebec, that is where much of the warm-up is happening. Thunder Bay at 28 degrees, Timmins at 29 as well. Slightly cooler, though, around seasonal temperatures for the prairies, around 18, 19 degrees. Vancouver, meanwhile, sitting around 21. Now, we did mention that mainly clear skies is anticipated for our Thursday. Chance of precipitation moving in Friday late, but we are keeping a close eye on this. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. You may have to say goodbye to the sunshine by Friday, where we are anticipating cloudy skies, 28 the daytime high, though, so we're still hitting those really high 20-degree temperatures. Saturday and Sunday, though, slight chance that we could see some showers that could start as early as Friday, late evening, moving into Saturday morning. But the 26 degrees is the anticipated average temperature that we will see into the weekend. More sunshine, though, on the way for Monday and Tuesday, where we could see another 30-degree day early for Tuesday. Now, again, enjoying the sunshine here. There's people behind us playing a little bit of golf here at Brook Street Hotel, getting the little courts, or I should say the courses in. But inside, a wonderful event is taking place. It is the Taste for Hope for Shepherds of Good Hope. We'll be speaking to the CEO as well as the foundation as well to hear more about this wonderful program. Patricia.
Good stuff. Always a wonderful event, Jackie. Thanks so much. Coming up, OC Transpo solves one of the issues it was facing ahead of trial running, on the O-Train East extension, but there is still one main problem, delaying testing. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. OC Transpo now says it has enough staff to conduct trial running on the O-Train East extension, but there's still no timeline for when that testing could begin. Service on lines 1 and 4 were temporarily suspended over the Victoria Day long weekend due to staffing shortages. A new report shows the transit agency has sufficient staffing levels for the 21-day trial running period on the new eastern portion of the system, which will run between Blair Station and Trim. However, testing is still delayed because of the mechanical issues discovered on some LRT vehicles. Ontario's major educational unions have served the Ford government with a notice to meet at the bargaining table. The formal legal notice means bargaining in the education sector will have to get underway within 15 days. There are several unions involved, including those representing Ontario elementary and secondary teachers. Collective agreements expire on August 31st. Tim Hortons is shutting down its latest credit card program 3 years after it launched. In an email to customers, the company says the program will shut down on October 1st. It says the cards will still work after that time, but they'll be managed by Neo Financial, and transactions will not earn Tim Rewards points. This was not Tim's first credit card program. The company put on a splashy launch for its Double Visa card back in 2014. It was discontinued 5 years later. It is Bike Night in Smiths Falls, the first event of the season on the first Wednesday of every month throughout the summer. Hundreds of motorcycle drivers gather for this event. They close 18 blocks. There are food trucks, street vendors, and games. Bike Night provides a big economic boost to the town. Well, let's go back to Jackie at the Brook Street Hotel, where the Taste for Hope event is getting underway there. Always a big one, a fun one, and lots of delicious looking stuff behind you, Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, confession. I've already tried a couple of the food stations. There are 20 here this evening, so I've probably knocked off 2 or 3. But again, it's all for a wonderful cause. It is for the Shepherds of Good Hope. I do want to bring in Megan Hartley as well as Stephen Bertolo. First, Megan, talk about the event here, Taste for Hope. Everyone looks forward to it each and every year, and the connection between food and community is making such a difference. You can see that here tonight.
Absolutely. We have 500 community leaders in this room tonight, all here for the same cause of ending chronic homelessness. We are excited to bring our culinary clash back, and the winner tonight gets to do something exciting. They're going to take their recipe and they're going to get to make it in our community kitchen for all our guests and residents.
Now let's talk about that culinary clash. It's the second year in a row that this is being done. We had such great feedback last year. What is the challenge for this year?
We gave them black box ingredients. They have chicken, they have lentils and carrots, all staples in our community kitchen. And we said, make something great. And we're excited to see what they've come up with. I've heard some details, and there's some good things in store for us.
I cannot wait to see this. Now, again, a wonderful event this evening, but it is all going, once again, to a wonderful cause. Stephen, I want to talk about this, what we have here. Can you just provide this example of what we have right here behind us?
Absolutely. So this is a bed which is symbolic of our supportive housing. So a lot of people, when they hear Shepherds of Good Hope, they think of a soup kitchen. But Shepherds of Good Hope over the last couple of years has really moved into supportive housing, which is a permanent solution for someone experiencing homelessness. And we know that if we can give someone a permanent bed and a permanent home, we're going to be able to keep them from experiencing homelessness, and we're really proud of that.
The way the community is coming together here in Ottawa is just growing. Do you find that the need is also growing as well?
The need is absolutely growing, and I think Shepherds of Good Hope, and just like other organizations, we're working really hard on how do we show up so that we're preventing homelessness from happening in the first place or permanently ending it, and that's what Shepherds of Good Hope does.
Thank you so much for that information, Stephen. Are there ways that people can give back or contribute if they are not here tonight, at home, if they're watching?
Yeah. Absolutely. They can visit our website, tasteforhopeottawa.ca, and you can make a donation, or you can reach out and find out what kind of volunteers or opportunities are available.
Well, thank you guys so much. I know it's a busy evening, so we will let you off for now. Patricia, we will take it back to you in studio. And again, a reminder, Stefan Keys, our very own, will be the MC for this evening, and hopefully we'll try to find him in the crowd in the next hour or so.
Should be on his way. Good stuff, Jackie. Thank you.
No secret to anyone that's been paying any attention to this that the USTR has identified these issues as a trade issue.
Well, coming up, the federal government tells the CRTC to review its new rules that make streaming giants such as Netflix pay more.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, the federal government is demanding the CRTC review a recent decision that could lead to Canadians paying more for streaming services, and one that has become a trade irritant for the U.S. Last month, the CRTC announced large foreign streaming services would have to spend more of Canadian revenues on Canadian programming. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
The federal government appears to be backing away from its fight to force streaming giants to pay more for Canadian content, one day after what Canada called positive trade talks in Washington.
It's no secret to anyone that's been paying any attention to this that the USTR has identified these issues as a trade issue. It would be disingenuous to suggest that this is the single issue. The reality is we're impatient to make sure that this sector stays vital and stays supported.
Last month, the CRTC announced it was tripling the amount companies like Netflix and Disney had to pay for Canadian content, increasing fees from 5% of their Canadian revenue to 15%, a move the Conservatives strongly opposed.
When we debated this in the House of Commons, the Liberals faux-pas us. They made it sound like it was no big deal, that this tax was being widely accepted. That's not true.
Days after saying they couldn't act, Ottawa is now asking the CRTC to review that decision, saying it could increase costs for consumers.
It's actually good to see the government admitting that some of their the choices that they've made in terms of the legislation, in terms of the regulations, are actually going to have downstream impacts on consumers.
But many experts say it's about more than affordability. It's about appeasing the Americans who have repeatedly called the Online Streaming Act a trade irritant.
The CRTC's move was largely seen as provocative, an annoyance, an irritant to those trade negotiations. And so essentially what the federal government is doing is removing that annoyance from the playing field.
The streaming companies' fees were supposed to help Canadian producers, but no money has ever gone out. It's all been tied up in the courts. To help that industry, the Canadian government today announced a $600 million investment. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Home sales in Canada's largest real estate market have jumped the most in 10 months as prices drop. BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya has the details.
In Toronto, it appears lower prices have begun to lure potential buyers off the sidelines. Home sales were up 10% in May compared to April, as the city's real estate board says the market tightened. The seasonally adjusted benchmark price of a home dropped 0.2% from the previous month to just under $928,000. And TREB expects sales to improve even more through the second half of the year. And here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.96. West Texas Intermediate is up to 96.02. Western Canadian Select also up to 76.72. And the TSX closed 360 points lower today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
'Cause I'm lost in the way you move.
Well, coming up, we meet our Myers Team of the Week. We'll be joined in studio by a local ultimate Frisbee team. And it's time to meet our Myers Team of the Week. Teams are invited to send us a video to describe why their group is the greatest. Tonight's team, the Oz Ultimate.
Now Paul is a real estate novelist.
This women's competitive ultimate Frisbee team is proud to represent Ottawa on the national stage. This group of athletes love the sport, compete at a high level while fostering a supportive and empowering team environment. And the team is joining us right here in studio with the big Oz on the shirt, which I love. And Regan, you're one of the founders of this team. Goes back a few years?
Yeah, so we're in our 4th season right now. My sister and I here created the team 4 years ago, so yeah.
Why? Why do you love this sport?
Oh, I mean, I've been playing since I was 11. A lot of us have been playing for a long time. It's kind of a sport that you can just, you can play for a really long time. So, like, our dad still plays. He's in his 50s. A lot of our parents play, which is sort of how we got into it as well. So, yeah.
I had a lot of friends who loved it, never really played much. How many of you actually play university ultimate? Show of hands, a few of you. Okay, we're actually not on the screen right now, so I'm getting you to put your hands up while we're seeing you all bounce around in the field. But I can tell you a lot of them did have their hands up in here. And Riley, you're Regan's sister.
I am,
So
yes.
you're also part of the founding group. And what is
Yes.
it for you that you love about this?
My favorite thing, and how I always get people hooked into playing Ultimate, is the social aspect of it. We are a team who does a lot of bonding, so we just went camping last weekend, actually, in Calabogie. And you just...
Did you play a little Ultimate while you're camping?
We threw the disc around a little bit, but not really. But just the friends you make is probably one of my favorite parts about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're going to bring Jeff in here from Myers in just a moment. But tell me what you guys are going to do with this $1,000. You have a big competition coming up.
Yes, we do. So we get to go to Vancouver for nationals. So it's really just going to help us offset those costs and get to go to Vancouver for the week.
Nice. You're going to come back every year till you're 60 because you can keep playing as long as you want. Jeff, come on in. You can walk right in front. Why are you happy to be supporting all of these women getting out on the field and playing Ultimate Frisbee?
Well, the Myers Automotive Group is a big supporter of local sports, and we love to help out our community. And this check for $1,000, hopefully you guys can use it to go to nationals and help out your team win and represent our city of Ottawa here.
I love that.
Congratulations, guys.
Love that. Awesome. Okay, now we can do the show of hands. How many play University Ultimate? Yeah, a lot.
Not me.
That is awesome, and I hope you guys are back every year because you're playing for years and years. Wonderful Team of the Week. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, just upload your video to ctvottawa.ca.
There she is.
Welcome, Sandra Well, coming up, an Ottawa resident now $20,000 richer after winning a CTV Your Morning contest. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Taste for Hope. We have got Katelyn Tremblay here. You are ready for the culinary clash. You have the ingredients. What do you have here?
I made a red lentil soup with a little bit of coconut. I also did a little bit of chicken, like kind of with a little panko crust and some spicy honey.
And a little bit of a kick here.
And
We've got the gloves ready to rock because she is ready to win the culinary clash.
I am so ready to win.
Good luck today.
Thank you. And I'm going to cry if I don't win.
All right, make sure she doesn't cry. We'll talk to the judges. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
All right, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 28 degrees right now. Downtown Ottawa. A wonderful evening and a wonderful cause here at Brook Street Hotel.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Master Chef, The Floor, and back-to-back episodes of Big Bang. One final look at the forecast. Back out to the Brook Street where Jackie is standing by, and things are really revving up tonight, Jackie.
They are revving up. I still have yet to tackle all food stations. There are 20. We've already knocked out 5. But you know what I'm excited for? The weather for the next couple of days, because that heat wave is going to continue here in the capital. 31 for our Thursday. Yes, a mix of sun and cloud, but take advantage because Friday won't see much in terms of sunshine. Cloudy skies is in the forecast. 28 degrees. Those overnight lows 16 degrees. It's going to average that for at least into the weekend. But you can see for Saturday and Sunday, there is an anticipated chance of showers. Take a look at Monday and Tuesday, though. Lots of sunshine, 27 and 30 degrees is the anticipated temperature. So summer is here. You know who else is here for this event tonight? For Taste for Hope? Savannah Keys. You made it. How was traffic?
You know what? As an Ottawa boy, I know all the secret back roads, avoiding the Queensway, left downtown the market around 6 p.m., got here at 6:35, took an extra 6 minutes to find parking, and here we are with 10 minutes to spare.
You did this event last year as the MC.
I did.
How excited are you to be returning?
I am thrilled. The crowd is electric. There's great food, great people, and we're raising a ton of money for the Shepherds of Good Hope. So as a self-proclaimed foodie, if you will, this is a good one for me.
All right, well, have fun tonight. I will give you some pro tips on the food stations to check out.
Thank you.
Patricia, we send our regards here from Taste for Hope.
Best assignment of the night.
Nice. 35 minutes from downtown to Canada in he drives a Lamborghini, I think it is.
It must be.
Oh, we want to check in and see what our team is working on for tonight. Austin Lee will be on the desk at 11:30. And what are you following, Austin?
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. I just got back from the scene of that shooting in Overbrook, so we'll have the very latest on that situation. We'll also have more on bike night in Smiths Falls, plus details on how to best protect your pets from fleas. It's been a particularly, or ticks rather, it's been a particularly bad tick season here in Eastern Ontario, fleas, ticks, everything, all the pests. We'll have tips on how to protect your four-legged friends later tonight, and you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right. Good stuff. Thank you. And finally for us tonight, an exciting announcement today on CTV Your Morning Ottawa.
There she is.
Welcome, Sandra Kearney! I love these moments. This is Ottawa resident Sandra Kearney. She's the winner of Your Morning's 20K Pay Your Bills contest, sponsored by Bean Cars. Sandra is retiring in 1 month. This is good timing, and showed up to our Byward Market Studios bright and early this morning to collect her prize. There you go, another big check. We just had one on set here. Congratulations to Sandra. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, great timing.
Pay most of the bills.
Yeah, exactly.
Half of them? Some of them?
Some of them. What would you do? $20,000? What are you getting?
Yeah, well, I need a faster car apparently to get to Canada real quick. Like Stefan Keys. Our Oz Ultimate team picked up a big check for $1,000 earlier. There they are, the women going to nationals to compete in Vancouver in Ultimate Frisbee. I love that name, Oz. Harkening back to the wicked roots of their franchise. And a wonderful event at Brook Street tonight. Taste for Hope. I hope everyone has a blast there.